there's a time in my life where I experienced all of these emotions for several days at a time for several years. Do you want to live in my house during that time? It was pretty intense time. There was an injustice brought against me. In a court of law, if we laid out all the facts, I would have won. If I had to give them all to you today, which would take many hours, you would say, yes, Lisa, you're right, you were wronged. So it was clear that I was wronged. There was no question about that. And if we actually look at the older brother, can't you relate with him? I mean, he was choosing to do the right thing, and so you can kind of see where he's going and going. When you look at this, I was doing this. He was doing that. What about mine? And that was, in my situation, I realized the issue wasn't who was right or wrong, but rather what it was doing to me, my life, my relationships. My relationships were fractured. They were fractured with the people who brought injustice against me, and they were fractured with people who had no clue about it. I was faced with the same decision that the older brother's faced with, and that is, what's going to be your choice response? Is it going to be frustrated, choking the life out of someone trying to get what is owed to you, what should be explained, what should be said, what should be done? Or is it a choice that you say, I realize there's been injustice here, and God's so much bigger than this. He's bigger than this situation. That is much easier said than done. Like I said, I think it was about, I'm sad to say, you know, with James, God love him, he had to live with me these 7 years of me processing and going through this whole situation. So I really know and can relate to it's much easier, especially when things really aren't fair, especially when you are entitled to answers or justification, or especially if you're entitled to a cow and didn't get a goat. Whatever the case is, God revealed this attitude and this sin in my life through a very special person who came in and out of my life, and I still never talked to her. It was, I know she isn't an angel, although, because I did touch her, and I know she was there, but maybe she was, I don't know. Anyway, she came into my life, and I was talking to her about this whole issue, and she said, Lisa, as long as you have your hands wrapped around the neck of this person, squeezing what it is you think you deserve out of them, and frustrated, and I was working it, living it, every day, just irritated about it. You're never going to have, God can't work in this situation, and he can't work in you to free you from that bondage. And it was like a Mack truck hit. I mean, it was an epiphany. It's one of those times, a mile marker in your life where your life changes forever from that point. I realized that I wanted God to do his job. I didn't want to be the judge. I didn't want to be God. I wanted him to do it in the right time, in the right place, the right way. It truly was a miracle for me to be set free from the self-entitlement attitude. I still have no answers. No one said they're sorry. No one's explained anything. But I'm free from worrying about it. I'm free from stressing about it or wondering when I'm going to get mine. I can honestly say I actually don't think about it. You know, it's a forgotten issue with them, and it sometimes is a forgotten issue with me. It's never a forgotten issue with God. He knows. He remembers. And I just think, you know what? God has extended so much grace to me, and I'm actually not entitled to it, but he still gives it so freely.